Well, hello out there from the Troy Greenhouse. We're excited to be here for our AAPI Heritage Month workshop series with Chuekao Thao. So
Yeah.
thank you, Chuekao, for squeezing in a little conversation. And I just wondered if you could start us off by just sharing a little bit about your story and who you are.
All right. And again, my name is Kale. In real pronunciation is Chuekao Thao. I work out of Madison with Rooted, and my position at Rooted is called Community Gardener Network Specialist. Such a long name for a title, but I'm happy to fill in that position. As a network specialist in Madison, working with Rooted. My job is to be a communication, a lead person between the organization, the city of Madison, and gardener that's interested in finding a plot of land for growing produce that um, they grow for their own uses or for people that would like to have a larger plot and grow it to sell it in the market. We also do have lands that we lease out in the plot in the size of an acres and up for those that want to just a little plot to grow for their own personal use, for family use. We do have plot that range from 1/8 of an acre to 1/4 of an acre. And those usually are the land that we usually manage are called Sunshine Farm and Anderson Farm. Anderson Farm is a little bit south of the city of Oregon. It's part of Dane County Park, which part of their policy, part of their program to have a part of their county park to be used by local community people that would like to put the land into a useful usage. And the other plot is at Kowalski Road by McFarland. That one's mostly for families that likes to have a plot to grow for their own personal use. So my job is to match gardeners, farmers with the land. And if they have the land and they don't have the tools, then it's my job and my co-workers' job to solicit donations of tools for their use, or if they need a certain machinery to accomplish their farming activity. Even though we don't have it, it's we will be looking for helps for donations or uh, organization around the Madison area that would provide the necessary equipment. So that's part of my job. As a navigator, I think they call that navigator and connector.
Mhm.
So the other job is to teach and help gardener to Germany sea. This is the seedling greenhouse that we have here, which is will be ready in a couple of weeks. One thing is that last year, I'm going to make a comparison.
Mhm.
Last year, if you come here, you'll see trays of yellowy dying ceiling with patches of green. It'll be such a sore eye. But one thing that I'm really happy about is that they have learned a lot. Look at this. There's not a single thread of yellow ceiling. So through the training, through the communication and all these things, the gardener that this Germany they see here, they have done a wonderful job. They have learned quite a lot, and this is what we use to germinate the seed. We built this little, we call it germination chamber, and these are so built. We built it ourselves, and they look like that. And the bucket and the water heater to keep the chamber at certain set temperature, and we just put trays up here on the shelf. You can put one individually, or you can stack them up as high as you can, as high as these chambers available.
And is that a heater in the water?
Yes, yes, we use the heaters. Here we have some here, as it's still in the process of germinating. And this is the heating element. When it gets cool, then that heats up and heats the water, and then it uses the water, the humidity as a temperature control gadget.
And this is insulation on the walls?
Yes, we repurpose the greenhouse plastic that's over 5 years old. So
Mhm.
we repurpose it to use it as a moisture barrier, and to keep the moisture in, and to keep the humidity from rotting the wood. So that was a good thing. And these are the growth chamber. This one we set at 70, 75 degrees. This one we set at 80 degrees. A lot of our Asian gardener, they're from hot tropical country like Southeast Asia to China. So a lot of their seedling they brought over from their home country. So a lot of these are flowers, or they could be a seedling that was brought over by the family, that when they came over to the United States, they brought it over. So their seedling, their seed require the 80-degree growth chamber to in order to help it germinate. So that's why we have two different one with two different temperature. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty happy. It's someone who are in every step of the process of teaching our Asian gardeners how to germinate seed. And after the seed here, there were time when we set up workshop where we teach them how to build hoop house, how to cover hoop house, or how to maintain hoop house. So they'll be able to get the most life out of the hoop house. And inside the hoop house, there's numerous times that we hold workshop in the hoop house on how to propagate cutting, where or ear they call it. Sometimes they call it ear layering, and there's sometimes they call it cutting, and we cut up parts of plant and dip it into growth solution and stick them in the soil, cover them up, keep the humidity there, and then eventually the little cutting, little branch will take root, and it becomes a new plant. And we that was one thing that a lot of the guardians are pretty excited about it. Normally, you just propagate it by seed, but with a chance to how to learn how to propagate it from cutting, that was something that a lot of them were pretty excited. And again, uh, if you have any questions, you can call me or come and look for me. I'm working with Rooted. My name is Ko in English, but in Hmong, it's called Cheukao.
And how did you get started with gardening, Ko?
Well, my history with gardening is that it's a Southeast Asian boys growing up in the family. My mom and my dad usually took me to the garden, and I would be the water boy. I would be carrying gallons of water and buckets of water for them to water their gardens, and it just builds up since early childhood that when I grow up and I have families of my own, it just come naturally that well I have done this before. It's something that I knew well. Plus, growing up with the food that my parents made, I have acquired a taste for those foods. So I can't find those at the store. So and also if I do find it, they are in a quantity to where I cannot financially do it on a
Yeah.
weekly or daily basis. So to help with my financial food um, um, allocation, I have to grow my own sometimes. And in the process, by doing that, introducing this food into my kids' diet, they get to like them too. And sometimes there's food in the house that the kids comes back home. They say, "Mom, Dad, do you have this or that?" Or they might be living on their own, but when they come home, they'll be rummaging through the fridge for the food that we made using the vegetables. So it's something that your kids going to want it when they get home, or something that you're interested in, and say, this is something I can grow it. I don't have the money to go buy at the grocery store or some Asian specialty store. I can grow myself, and I can grow the quantity that I want, so I don't have to spend that much money to buy the food that I like. So it's just a personal taste, and it's also to financially have a full sort of full security for the special plant or ingredient that I need. And all of those started out early when I started helping my parents. Just as a water boy, it's a great introduction into the world of so-produced food.
And Kale, what are some of your favorite vegetables, crops that you grow in your garden to meet that need?
Well, there's two favorite that I always like. One is because I'm a Southeast Asian,
Hmm.
so we Southeast Asian, we love hot food, hot peppers. You'll go to the store and you get little packages like that, but that is not going to last long. And so instead of going waiting and relying on the grocery store, I grow a lot of hot pepper, and I because hot pepper comes with different degrees of hotness. So for me, I grow my own, but I also select the hardest one to propagate, and the sweet one, or the one that doesn't have a lot of firepower. I let it go, but I select for the hardest one. That's why I grow my own, and also a lot of people does that too. A lot of gardener does the same. I'm not the only one. So they keep the one that has the levels of hotness that they like, and then the super hot one or the sweet one, they just let it go. I'm doing that same thing, and so hot pepper is my one of my favorite one. Another one is the Chinese broccoli. I grew up eating those because those are easy to propagate, and my parent grows those, and I love the crunchy taste of it. It's more something like Spanish to broccoli. It's a Chinese. They call it Chinese broccoli, and it has that crunchy taste. So I learned to love the crunchiness every time I clamp down on my mouth. So those are the two that I always grow, and the rest you just for extra flavors, or just for my wife or my kid. But personally, my two favorites are hot pepper and Chinese broccoli.
And what are some of the things that you make with those two crops?
Well, the hot pepper, I pick up the hot pepper. Um, I the thing is that I trick them that the drought is coming. Instead of watering them, I trick them. I start watering them and trick them like it's the drought is coming. So if you trick them like that, the hot pepper becomes really hot. So when they become really hot, then I pick them and then dry them under the sun, and then store them. You can store a long time with that. you crush it into powder and use it, or you just use it as a whole as just for a visual addition to your dishes. Even though you don't eat it, I just put it there as a visual stimulant, for a mind stimulant, to cook with my dishes. And the crush one, the dry one, I crush it and put them in a jar and put them up in the shelf. So every now and then I look at it, a few here, a few there that disappear because the kids comes and take them. And the Chinese broccoli, I just pick them and then cook them, slice them, and cook them out from my garden. And if we have a lot more than we use, my wife likes to pickle them. She likes to pickle them like sauerkraut, and the German cabbage, sauerkraut. But instead of shredding them up, she maybe just cut them in half, and or just use the leaf and make uh, a pickle vegetable, and that also lasts a lot. That lasts a long time. So it's one thing is to grow them, but another thing is to preserve them, so you can use that for the durations of the winter that you are hibernating.
Wow, well, these do look beautiful.
Mm.
Keo, thank you for all you do for
Yeah,
Rooted and in
yeah.
the wider
I'm
community. Yeah.
pretty happy this year because they have learned a lot, and every single one is nice and green. But last year, oh, it was
Yeah.
a disappointment. But I'm pretty happy that our gardeners are learning quite a lot this year, and I'm pretty happy with the result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look really great. And you all will put the in the comments a link to the Community Gardens Network part of our website so that you can also see what plots are available and connect with KO and the rest
Yes.
of the team.
Yes.
Thank you so much, KO.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
And thanks everybody for
I'm
tuning
happy
in.
here to show you and show you my happiness about our successful result here.
It really looks
Mm.
beautiful. It really looks beautiful. Y'all come on out to Troy and see it for yourself. All
Oh,
right. Thanks,
yep,
KO.
yep, sure.